Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the OKGoodReview channel. And today, guys, I wanted to do this type of video for a while. A lot of the models that I do are for displays, and so I do the display pieces and I show people pictures of them and stuff, and a lot of times people are like, that's really cool, I wish I could do that. And so they ask me a lot of questions about brushes, paints, things like that, guys. And so, guys, I get asked the same questions quite a bit, and I don't mind that. I like talking about models, guys. I like this stuff. It's all, it's all fun. It's all fun for me, and I'm glad people appreciate it. But so I thought, what kind of video would I wanted when I was first starting to do models, guys? So this is basically going to be a series about for the beginners. If you've done a lot of models, you can probably click off this because I'm not going to be telling you guys anything that you probably don't already know or haven't heard. But for this one, I'm going to go through a couple things. The reason that these two models are in front of you guys, and both of these will be built at some future point, guys, you can always check the model builds playlist if you want to see these. But I wanted to start out, guys, in the beginning. So the reason these two are here is because to me, there's two very basic types of kits. There are more complicated ones, guys, but that gets beyond doing this as a hobby. And honestly, most kids are that's how their approach is for this as a hobby, something fun to do, right? So I don't want to get too far away from that, guys, that idea, because that's really, honestly, guys, my approach as well. And so, guys, this is going to be just a very basic, how do you get started with model building? And so first thing we're going to do is take a look at the two types of kits. Two main types of kits that you would be doing at a beginner level. There is resins, there is ones that you need a Dremel tool and a whole lot of fabrication equipment. This series will not be covering any of that, guys. This is really more of a basics video, guys. So there's a lot of stuff out there with that. We probably won't be covering airbrushing because I don't have a compressor yet for the airbrushing. At some later point, I may add it. I don't know yet, guys. So stay tuned for that, guys. But for right now, let's get into the basics. So there's two main types of kits. There's this one, which is a die-cast. Assembly line is one example. There are others out there. This is basically just your run-of-the-mill die-cast kit. So what does die-cast mean? Die-cast typically means it's metal and it's put together and painted pretty much for you already, guys. So all you're doing is assembling. So the tool comes with it, and you can see you can choose different rims. Here's some tires. Here's the assembly. There's seats. There's the chassis over there, and that's all. It's fairly simplified, guys. So the idea here is all you're doing is just screwing stuff together, right? There's not a lot to this. You can, for instance, guys, paint the shell if you want to and things like that. But this is your basic sort of run-of-the-mill prefab assembly kit where all you have is basically you're just constructing it. It's almost like a Lego kit. No paint, no glue necessary. It's just you and this little screwdriver. So that's one type of kit, guys, and this one is all fairly self-explanatory. Think of this almost more as a Lego kit. So this is not where we're spending most of the time. Where we're spending most of the time is this one. So this is basically a model kit, and there's different complexity versions. I just happen to choose Revell. Revell and to me are probably my two favorite model kits at the moment. And so here's what you have. You have, looks like you have pins here. This particular model, guys, is the one that will be forthcoming will be a shell. We have, I've included the paint here, guys. This is a competition orange. You usually will have glass, so windshields and stuff like that. And in here is a whole tree with 2 different types of hoods. You've got different rim arrangements of firewall, the inside. And basically the idea with this, guys, is you can, in this particular case, you can customize this pretty intensely. And of course you guys can follow the instructions. There are stickers in here, water slide stickers usually. And you can go through here, and so let's just turn to a random page here, guys. So you can basically follow this along, and this will tell you how to do it step by step. Now, if you follow it step by step the first time you do this model, which I recommend, by the way, guys, painting it can be somewhat of a challenge if you don't leave it on the tree while you do it. So that's something I always recommend that everybody always do, is leave all of your parts on the tree prior when you're painting them, guys, before you paint them. So don't take them off the tree until they're painted, and you will be much happier in the long run if you do that, guys. So there we are, guys. There's the 2 main model types. We have basically just an assembly kit, and then we will have one that we glue together. So from this point on, guys, we will not be addressing this any further. We'll be just addressing this type of kit, guys. And the next video in this series will be downstairs in Spider Central, guys, where I go through some of the basic tools and show you usage of some of those that you should have in every kit. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at the 2 types of kits, guys. This one, if you just want a finished product, that's pretty much a sure thing. These are good to get. Both of these cost about the same. Testers also has a version. Mostly these seem to be exotics. But if you want to do custom stuff, if you want to do probably more accurate versions, guys, definitely look more at the kits that you have to glue together and assemble. Hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed our look at this. If you have, please give us the old thumbs up, guys. Hit the red subscribe button, guys, if you have not already, guys. Hit the blue bell next to the red subscribe button, guys, if you like to be notified of the newest content that's going to be available, guys, including more model builds and more in this series, guys. You can also follow us on our Twitter feed, guys, where I try to update as soon as things happen. And there is Twitter-specific content as well. Guys, leave us a comment. Let us know. I answer a lot of questions on the blog about the specific kits. I answer a lot of questions in real life, guys. Model kitting is something I love doing. It's very... Some people say it relaxes them. It sometimes relaxes me. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends, guys. But I really enjoy doing it. It's really fun to take a bunch of parts, come together with something cohesive, something that is unique and specific to you at the end of it, guys. Not everything I've done is a success, guys. If you look through the playlist, you watch them all, you will see very clearly that I don't have a success every time out, guys. But it's still something that I love doing. It's a lot of fun. And guys, it is a great hobby. I encourage you, definitely, I would say do one of these kits first. If you like the result, then you can get into something like this. But if you already know you like customizing stuff, head straight for one of these Revels. I would personally say, so there's a lot of them out there. For the money, Revel is an outstanding model, guys. I have yet to have one from them that I think is a bad model. That is not the case with Round 2 and some of the other ones. Some of the imports, so Aoshima, Fujimi, Hasegawa, and Tamiya, guys, are great models. However, you're paying an import fee on almost all those, and they're expensive. So if you flub one of these, not the end of the world. If you flub one of those, then it is banging your head against the wall time, because unless you get really good at fixing stuff, guys, that can be an exercise in frustration. So I would say, when I started doing these kits, I did these, by the letter, one at a time. And I would say once you've done probably 4 or 5 of those, then you can start looking at some of the other ones, because then you'll know by then how serious this is to you and whether or not it's worth spending something that is sometimes almost double the cost of one of these. So start with the Revel. The Round 2 stuff, guys, I don't think cooperates. There's a lot of errors in the molds, guys, and a lot of stuff that you have to be somewhat more experienced and practiced to be able to fix reasonably. So The AMT stuff, not so much a fan of. Polar Lights and Limburg. Limburg, I think, are okay kits, but I wouldn't really look to any of those guys. The instructions of Revell, everything is much more clear-cut and laid out better in my view, so that's where I would recommend as a starting kit when you get into the glue models, guys. Part 2 will be coming up next, guys, where we take a look at the tools. So, guys, please check that out when that comes up, which should be shortly after this video, and I'll see y'all there. Bye-bye.